So, am I audible to all? Am I audible to all? Okay, if somebody can confirm if I'm audible. Okay, then we will start our session. Okay, so this is your environment weekly session. Actually, we used to take it on the weekly basis, but in the month of July, I was not able to take up in a single session. So what I have done here is मैंने environment के जितने भी current affairs थे for the month of June and July, and they were very recurrent topic. So I have clubbed them all together and will be taking a single session for the month of July. Okay, and then I'll try to continue with the weekly session so that it doesn't overload you. Any which ways, the number of topics are less because they were repeated, and so there are about 7 to 8 topics. We'll quickly go through it, understanding the nuances. Okay, so the very first topic is Indian monsoon deficit 2026. ठीक है, so basically हो क्या रहा है इंडिया के अंदर, we have seen uh, that the June month was the fifth driest month, ठीक है, since 1901, fifth driest June. So the lowest fifth lowest amount of rainfall occurred in the month of June for India since 1901. And another thing is for the month of July also, as we have seen, IMD predicted that it will be below normal, and it stayed below normal. The reason being the same. ठीक है, and it was 94% of less than 94% of LPA. Now, what is LPA? LPA is your long period average. What is your long period average? Long period average is that you take a data over a period of say about 30 to 50 years. In India specifically, we take about for 50 years, and वी कैलकुलेट ऑन एवरेज बेसिस पे कि कितनी रेनफॉल हो रही है कितने मंथ किस मंथ के अंदर, ठीक है, एंड इट इज़ अपडेटेड एवरी 10 years बाय आईएमडी. सो उसके कंपैरेटिवली अगर हम देखते हैं, देन द रेनफॉल इज बिलो नॉर्मल फॉर द मंथ ऑफ जुलाई, एंड दैट इज व्हाट वी से दैट इज व्हाई वी आर सेइंग लॉन्ग पीरियड एवरेज के 94% से कम होगी रेनफॉल, ठीक है. So what is the reason specifically that this year you have less rainfall? The reason being, one is your super El Nino, second is your neutral Indian Ocean dipole. ठीक है. Now let's see what is this super El Nino क्या है. ठीक है. So basically El Nino is a condition जहाँ पे you see a reduction in rainfall. And why do we say so? We say so why? Normally what happen, how do you get monsoon? You get monsoon when here in the Western Pacific you have warm water, and in the Eastern Pacific you have upwelling, cold upwelling. ठीक है. So there is cold water which creates a high pressure here and a low pressure here. And what is the nature of trade wind? That trade wind, they travel from high pressure to low pressure. And when they are moving from this high pressure to low pressure, they are carrying water with them. And as a result, what is happening? You are having rainfall in the form of southwest monsoon when it comes to India. Correct? In very simple terms. Now, during the El Nino, the condition reverse. So basically, and the reason unknown to mankind, that what happened, the cold welling reduce, the warm water spread across eastern ocean, eastern Pacific Ocean as well, and as a result the trade winds weaken, and since they are weak, they are carrying less water and coming with less intensity in form of southwest monsoon, okay, to India, and as a result the amount of rainfall reduces. Now this is a normal El Nino, okay, and the opposite of this is your La Nina. La Nina simply means that the high pressure increases, low pressure decreases, and as a result, faster movement of your trade winds, and as a result, more rainfall. Now, how do we categorize El Nino as super El Nino? When the change in temperature is more than 2 degrees Celsius. Okay, that is a condition which you call it as super El Nino. Okay, so this is, if we read the definition, it's an extreme warming phase of tropical precipitation where sea surface temperatures spike more than 2 degrees Celsius above normal, driven by weakened trade winds and massive subsurface heat shift. That means जो आपकी cold upwelling यहाँ पे हो रही है, यहाँ की वजह your the temperature of this particular ocean, the Eastern Pacific Ocean, is risen by 2 degrees Celsius. What is it? That is your super El Nino event. Now this is one thing. Now there is another phenomena called Indian Ocean Dipole. Indian Ocean Dipole क्या होता है कि when there is a El Nino kind of phenomena and you have a positive Indian Ocean Dipole, so the rainfall kind of get balanced. What we saw El Nino that is happening in Pacific Ocean. What is happening in Indian Ocean is your Indian Ocean Dipole. So if you see here near the Africa, the your Western Indian Ocean is warmer, and your uh, this Eastern Indian Ocean that is around the area of Australia is your cooler. That means you will have more rainfall. Okay. But what is happening in neutral? There is no change. That it will have no impact on whatever is happening due to El Nino. Negative में क्या होगा? It will reduce the rainfall. Positive के अंदर it will increase the rainfall. So अगर El Nino है और आपका positive Indian Ocean dipole है तो kinda it will balance it out, the impact of El Nino, ठीक है. But यहाँ पे क्या है? You have super El Nino. At the same time, what is happening is that your Indian Ocean dipole is neutral, so it will have no impact. The impact of super El Nino will stay as it is. That means you will have less rainfall this year. That is the crux, and the reason being these two phenomenon, environmental phenomenon that you should must be knowing about. और ये आप अपने NCERT के अंदर you will be reading in geography NCERT also. ठीक है? So that is second thing. Now, what is going to be the socio-economic impact of this particular situation where you have less rainfall? The socio-economic impact would be that a kharif crop is under immense stress because of lack of rainfall, ठीक है, एंड डेटा वाइज अगर हम बात करें 22% ईयर ऑन ईयर डिक्लाइन है, ठीक है. नाउ दैट दिस इज ओवर एग्रीकल्चर आउटपुट आपका डिक्लाइन हो जाएगा एंड फूड इन्फ्लेशन विल इंक्रीज, ठीक है. सो ऑलरेडी वेयर इंडिया इज स्ट्रगलिंग विद इन्फ्लेशन, विद इन इथेनॉल, विद kind of recession in the market. At the same time, what we are witnessing is that due to the less monsoon, you will have further food inflation because of less production of the kharif crops. Okay. Then your water security, as we all know that the groundwater is fastly depleting, and as a result, when your recharge is also less because of less rainfall, then the stress on the underground resources and freshwater resources will even be more. Okay. Third is your energy sector. The drop in reservoir level plays severe risk on hydropower energy. ठीक है, तो हाइड्रो पावर जनरेशन भी आपकी इम्पैक्ट हो जाएगी. दिस इज थर्ड थिंग. नाउ देखो, अब हम ये देखते हैं कि इसके अंदर से क्वेश्चन कैसे पूछ सकती है. तो कॉन्सेप्चुअल जो क्वेश्चंस हैं वो तो आपके प्री में आते ही हैं, ठीक है. वी ऑल नो दैट यूपीएससी कैन डायरेक्टली आस्क क्वेश्चन. ऑफ लेट उन्होंने इस एरिया से कोई क्वेश्चंस पूछे भी नहीं हैं, ठीक है. सो यू माइट एक्सपेक्ट, बट व्हेन यू सी ऑन मे इन मेंस you can get this impact based questions as well, ठीक है. स्टैटिक के साथ they will also ask the impact based questions, ठीक है. Now the second topic is here is your climate tipping point. Now why this is news? See, for the entire month of June हमने जितने भी weekly sessions लिए, we discussed about the Bonn conference, we discussed about turquoise nexus initiative, which was a part of again the Bonn conference. So basically we talk about the subsidiary 4 वाली जो meeting थी, 64th session था, ठीक है, subsidiary bodies का. Now, why this climate tipping point is being talked about? Because EU versus India happened during this particular bone meet conference, ठीक है, which is your mid-year conference of UNFCCC. ठीक है. So basically what is climate tipping point? Let's see. तो इंडिया और यू का क्या पॉइंट था, that they were not agreeing upon the definition, ठीक है, that you need to have more scientific analysis is what India was saying. At the same time, what EU was saying that India is delaying deliberately by bringing into these questions. ठीक है, this was the bone of contention. Now what is climate tipping point? The climate tipping point is a is a critical threshold point है जिसके beyond it will be impossible to uh, renew your resources, natural resources if they are present. So they become irreversible changes हो सकते हैं अर्थ के अंदर. That is your climate tipping point. So अगर हम definition read करते हैं तो a tipping point is a critical threshold in the earth climate system which when crossed leads to rapid self reinforcing and potential irreversible changes. ठीक है, independent of linear pace of greenhouse gas emissions. So what is linear and non-linear? देखो, linear क्या हो गया आपका? Suppose there is an X amount of greenhouse gas emission happening in the atmosphere. It will have X amount of impact categorically, ठीक है. लेकिन अगर आपका नॉन लीनियर है तो उसके अंदर climate tipping point की non-linear impact क्या होगा? If there is a Y amount of destruction happen to the environment, then the impact is not going to be Y. Impact is going to be multifolds of Y. ठीक है, and it will be such that it is beyond human calculations कि वो कितना impact करेगा. ठीक है, as of now we have not been able to predict it. More so India said कि it will be able to figure it out when it will be too late for us to figure out. ठीक है, so the impact will be unknown and it will go into a self in reinforcement वाले phase के अंदर. So it's very difficult to calculate. ठीक है. Now what do we mean by tipping points? अगर हम एग्जाम्पल्स के थ्रू देखते हैं, देखो, जब आपका मान लो अमेजोन रेन फॉरेस्ट खत्म हो गया, ठीक है, इट इज डेड, इट इज नाउ इरिवर्सिबल, वो चेंज नहीं हो सकता, ठीक है, एंड इट हैज टर्न इनटू अ ड्राई सवाना. लाइक रिसेंटली इन दिस वीक ओनली आई टेक अ सेशन ऑफ आरएलसी, ठीक है, ऑन प्लेसेस इन न्यूज. अगर आपने नहीं देखा है गो वॉच इट. वहां पे वी डिस्कस्ड अबाउट आरएलसी. व्हाट वी डिस्कस्ड कि ड्यू 1960s के अंदर ड्यू टू द सोवियत यूनियन पॉलिसीज व्हाट हैपेंड, दे स्टार्टेड डाइवर्टिंग वाटर फ्रॉम अमू दरिया and Sir Darya, which is the river feeding the RLC because RLC is a landlocked sea. ठीक है. Now they wanted water to their water deficit region, so they started diverting. What happened by 1980s itself that 80% of RLC got uh, dried up. ठीक है, and as a result today RLC, which was one a space जहाँ पे carbon sequestration होता था, that it used to absorb carbon, has now omitted some 200 teragrams of carbons. ठीक है, so it has now converted itself into a greenhouse gas emission chamber. So this is the problem. ठीक है. Now similarly आपका AMOC Atlantic Meridian Overturning Circulation है. Now if this get impacted completely, then your cryogenic disintegration, the melting of Greenland ice shield and Arctic shield, if these things are happen, now this is the tipping point. Like इसके beyond आप कर भी क्या सकते हो? Non linear feedback loop शुरू हो जाएगी, that one thing will lead to the other will lead to the third thing, and it will be beyond human control to manage it. ठीक है, so that is what is tipping point. Now, what is India ka stance? What was the India stance? India said that we have definition challenges. Like that term tipping point currently lack a universal acceptance and a precise scientific definition. See, अगर वो खत्म ही हो गया है and उसको आप tipping point बोल रहे हो, then what is the point? You need to have a scientific definition. ठीक है, आप एक define तो करो, how do you say so? Which is the खत्म होने के बाद तो at any which ways it is irreversible. So this is the problem with India. Now, and then they say there is a scientific uncertainty. That means forecasting exact threshold is highly complex. ठीक है? In many cases, a tipping point can only be definitely confirmed after it has crossed. ठीक है? This is second thing. And then third is avoid panic and miscommunication. India has warned against oversimplify complex non-linear climate system. ठीक है? That you are oversimplifying the complex system, as we have said that it will have multiple impacts. So you cannot just simplify and say these things. You have to have a proper data about that. And excessive alarmism and doomism can weaken public trust in science, causing developing nation to pressurize to unfair panicked economic commitments. ठीक है? What they are trying to say here is that अगर आप इसको सिंप्लीफाई करके एक पॉइंट लिख देते हो, ठीक है, कि इसके बियॉन्ड प्रॉब्लम आ जाएगी, तो इन the humans, the normal people will get panic, and as a result of which the developing countries, those who have not developed, because the developed country have are the reason जहाँ पे बहुत सारा those are the reason for responsible for kind of issues that we are seeing today, because they have done their part of contribution to the damage in the environment. ठीक है? But developing countries need those resources in order to develop. ठीक है? So that will put undue pressure on developing countries to have higher mitigation targets. ठीक है? Than developed countries. So this is the problem, and this is what EU is saying कि you are unnecessarily misleading, ठीक है, and you are deliberately delaying. This is your delaying tactic. This is the bone of contention. Now, political targets और physical thresholds की अगर हम बात करें, political target क्या है हमारा? That we need to have a 1.5 degree Celsius limit established at this COP21 Paris Agreement in political and policy benchmark. ठीक है? Physical threshold है reaching 1.5 does not mean Earth will automatically trigger an irreversible physical tipping point every very next day. Confusing the two concepts lead to flawed chemical science, climate science communication. This is the thing. ठीक है? Now, climate finance. Another thing is that India highlighted that the climate finance from developed country has been reducing in the recent past. See, अगर हम normally भी देखते हैं, though while we are saying the developing countries that you need to contribute to the uh, so-called climate change contributions you should be making, that correct कि आप renewable energy की तरफ move करो. But at the same time, with developing countries with limited resources and more needs, are forced to use some sort of non-renewable energy as well. Say for example, हमने इंडिया में ही देखा, we moved to ethanol. What happened when we moved to ethanol? It further put stress on water because we are not able to go through third degrees के जो category होती है for 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 your formation of ethanol. ठीक है? हम तो शुगर केन से बना रहे हैं, तो इट इज टेकिंग मोर टोल ऑन दी वाटर वाटर स्ट्रेस हो रहा है. ठीक है? नाउ, and it needs more financing from our side also if we go to that. At the same time, the normal people is also suffering. So it is not that overnight developing countries will be able to do much about it. But when you see the developed country, Russia went into Ukraine, US is fighting with Iran, and nobody is talking about the climate impact these things are having on the environment, right? So they are not owning up their own responsibilities. So they should also be considerate about these things, that it's going to have irreversible damage to environment. Okay. Now this was your second topic. Now the third topic is your agronomic reality versus GM traits in cotton cultivation. Just a sec. Okay. So देखो अभी हुआ क्या है that why this particular topic is in news, agroeconomic versus GM traits in cotton cultivation. So there is a the productivity of the cotton has reduced. Okay. Now, what the Indian agriculture biotechnology industry is saying that it can be solved introducing next generation GM traits. ठीक है? क्रॉप्स के अंदर इफ यू ब्रिंग दैट देन वी विल हैव मोर प्रोडक्टिविटी। सबसे पहले क्या था, कॉटन क्रॉप थी, उसके अंदर बलवर्म्स लग जाते थे, दैट इज व्हाई दे केम अप विद GM क्रॉप। ना अब GM क्रॉप because it prevented and give you a herbicide or pesticide tolerance, so it could not be more impacted by those, and as a result of which GM cotton had enormous amount of productivity. ठीक है, now the pest has gained resistance over a period of time, they have their genome has mutated. So what the industry is saying that if you will have next generation of GM modified crops, then it is going to be more productive. However, there is an evaluation done by Mr. Keshav Kranti, chief scientist of International Cotton Advisory Committee. It what it has said is that this technological fix of having more developed BT cotton or GM cotton, it won't help in improving productivity, because the problem is not with the productivity of the cotton. With the problem is with your soil nutrition capacity has depleted. ठीक है, so आपका soil organic carbon has depleted, and India is also facing a soil organic carbon crisis. So normally a minimum 1 to 1.5% soil organic carbon is required, ठीक है, for a healthy soil. But India के अंदर it has reduced to 0.3 to 0.6%. So even if you bring the best quality or more GM crops or more developed or anything else, it will not help in improving productivity, because the problem does not lie in the seed itself, the problem lie in the soil itself. Okay, now this is the problem. What will happen due to low carbon levels? आपकी अगर natural soil carbon reduce हो जाएगा, तो earth will able to hold less water, and as a result less nutrition, ठीक है, than it used to be. So this is the problem. Higher the carbon level, higher your water holding capacity, more moisture रहेगा तो better productivity. Now this is the problem कि आपका soil organic carbon use हो गया. Now इसी का अगर आप example लेते हो, इंडिया ने इसी purpose के लिए soil health card भी निकाले थे, बट वो किसके लिए थे? वो कार्बन के लिए नहीं थे, दे वर फॉर एनपीके, न्यूट आपने एक्सेसिव जो फर्टिलाइजर्स वगैरह की कितना न्यूट्रिशन चाहिए आप उसकी मॉनिटरिंग के लिए कर सको। नाउ दैट इज ऑल्सो अ गुड इनिशिएटिव, बिकॉज आपको चाहिए कि आप अप्रोप्रिएट अमाउंट ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन प्रोवाइड करो, बट स्टिल बिकॉज द फार्मर इट सेल्फ इज नॉट एज एजुकेटेड, इट इज उसको इंश्योर करना दैट दे आर गिविंग द राइट अमाउंट ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट। ठीक है, सो दैट इज अनदर प्रॉब्लम इन इंडिया। ना अगर आप टर्की की केस स्टडी देखते हो, अच्छा व्हाई देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम विद द सॉइल इन इंडिया। एक तो हमने एक्सेसिव फर्टिलाइजर्स यूज किए हैं, एक्सेसिव पेस्टिसाइड यूज किए हैं, एट द सेम टाइम ड्यू टू द ग्रीन रेवोल्यूशन पर से, स्पेसिफिकली इन द एरिया ऑफ पंजाब, हरियाणा एंड वेस्टर्न उत्तर प्रदेश, व्हाट हैज हैपेंड, मोनोक्रॉपिंग पैटर्न जो है, बिकॉज एंड ग्रीन रेवोल्यूशन एडेड बाय योर एमएसपी, ठीक है, तो वहाँ पे एक्सेसिव मोनोक्रॉपिंग एंड सॉइल इरोजन की वजह से, दिस इज the second thing. And how do we correct it? We correct it with agroforestry, which we'll see in another editorial that came in newspaper, so we'll be discussing that also. ठीक है, now that is the issue. Now अगर सिमिलरली आप एक टर्की की केस स्टडी उठा के देखते हो, तो टर्की डिडंट यूज टू, दे हैड वेरी लो प्रोडक्टिविटी, but in order to improve their productivity they didn't move to GM cotton. Instead they achieved a fourfold increase by high density varietal development and regenerative agriculture practice, particular use of biochar compost system that improved soil organic carbon. So they focused on resolving the structural issue, they focus on improving the quality of the soil rather than just giving better quality of seeds and not improving the soil quality, because if your soil degenerates, eventually your productivity will decline no matter what, right? Now this was the editorial that you need to have integrated climate action. So अगर आपको याद है, बॉन कॉन्फ्रेंस के अंदर we talk about turquoise nexus initiative, ठीक है, इफ़ यू सी आई थिंक थर्ड सेशन में हमने इसको डिस्कस किया इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग। तो वहाँ पे व्हाट इज़ द फोकस इज़ कि अभी तक आप जो भी कर रहे थे आप साइलोज़ में कर रहे हैं। आपकी एक प्रॉब्लम हुई, यू ट्राई टू रिज़ॉल्व इट। लेकिन टर्कोइज़ नेक्सस इनिशिएटिव क्या था कि आप फार्मर्स और एग्रीकल्चर्स को क्लब करके यू विल हैव अ मोर कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव पॉलिसी so that you can improve comprehensively rather than just on the basis of like जस्ट इन साइलोज बिकॉज अगर आप साइलो में कर रहे हो तो आपकी पॉलिसी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन पुअर हो जाता है, ठीक है, बिकॉज यू डोंट अंडरस्टैंड द 360 डिग्री इम्पैक्ट। ओके, नो इफ यू सी, ठीक है, now let's discuss with the help of this diagram that why do you need integrated climate action। देखो, अगर आपका साइलोस में कर रहे हो देन यू हैव पुअर कोऑर्डिनेशन, मिस अपॉर्चुनिटीज एंड हायर कॉस्ट बिकॉज आपको हर चीज़ को बार बार फिक्स करना पड़ेगा, ठीक है ना, दैट इज़ द प्रॉब्लम। एक जगह पे आप रिजॉल्व करोगे, दूसरी जगह पे कोई और प्रॉब्लम होगी बिकॉज आपने नहीं किया है, तो आप मल्टीपल जगह पे उसको फिक्स करते रहोगे। सो दिस विल कॉज यू मोर ट्रबल, more time, more cost, and you will not have a comprehensive policy management, ठीक है। सो अगर आप उसके रीजनिंग समझने की कोशिश करते हैं, एफोरेस्टेशन पैराडॉक्स बोलते हैं इसको, साइलोज अप्रोच का क्या है कि अगर आप सिर्फ ट्रीज लगा रहे हो, एफोरेस्टेशन कर रहे हो, इफ यू आर जस्ट अप्लाइंग ट्रीज एवरीवेयर, व्हाट विल हैपन, इट कैन सीक्वेस्टर कार्बन तो ज़्यादा लेके जाएगा ग्राउंड के अंदर, बट इट विल ऑल्सो डिप्लीट ग्राउंड वाटर, ठीक है, एंड इट विल हार्म बायोडाइवर्सिटी। सो यू कैन नॉट जस्ट हैव ट्रीज, यू हैव टू हैव एग्रोफोरेस्ट्री। दैट मीन्स यू हैव टू हैव एग्रीकल्चरल फील्ड जिसके बीच में आप ट्रीज लगाओ। what will be the advantage? The advantage would be this three step advantage, क्योंकि ट्रीज हैं और आपकी रन अवे फील्ड नहीं है। एग्रीकल्चर फील्ड में क्या होता है, वंस यू हैव सी एक्सेसिव रेन हो गया, ठीक है, सो इट विल लीड्स टू टॉप लेयर का इरोजन हो जाएगा बिकॉज दे वोंट बी एबल टू, क्रॉप्स वोंट बी एबल टू होल्ड द वाटर विद इटसेल्फ, सो देयर विल बी अ इरोजन, ठीक है, ऑफ टॉप लेयर, सॉइल इरोजन हो जाएगा। लेकिन अगर ट्रीज हैं तो ट्रीज हैज द कैपेसिटी दैट दे कैन बाइंड वाटर एंड डू द ग्राउंड वाटर रिचार्ज, सो इट विल, and it will prevent the erosion of soil, so it will hold water, it will prevent soil erosion, and as a result आपका nutrition save होगा। Third thing, the the fallings from the trees will also aid into organic composting, which will act as a fertilizer। Okay, so this is another plus point। All right, ठीक है, this is the advantage of agroforestry। अगर हम रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी के कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स को देखते हैं, द लार्ज सोलर पार्क्स दे कैन डिस्प्लेस्ड, अगर आप बना रहे हो, पेस्टोलिस्ट एंड रिस्ट्रिक्ट एक्सेस टू द ग्रेजिंग लैंड्स, ठीक है। So how do you do it? You have decentralized renewable energy. That means solar cold storage and pumped microgrids cut fossil fuel use and boost rural incomes and resilience. ठीक है। So जो आपके solar parks हैं, if you are accompanying them with infrastructure like over the top of buildings जैसे हमने देखा है of areas, तो वहाँ पे आपको help करेगा, ठीक है। Then finance cues. Most finance flows to mitigation while adaptation resilience project remain severely underfunded. See, what is difference between mitigation and adaptation? Mitigation is what is happening in the source side, ठीक है, and adaptation is what is happening on the receiving side. So if we are changing our infrastructure, we are changing our lifestyle to adapt to the environment, that is adaptation. Lekin if you are trying to stop uh, the chances of the incidents, ठीक है, सपोज आप किसी तरीके से प्रिवेंट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो, क्लाइमेट चेंज को रिवर्स करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो ताकि आपके फ्लड्स कम आए या फिर अनसर्टेन क्लाइमेट इवेंट्स कम हो रहे हैं, दैट इज मिटिगेशन, ठीक है। Mitigation is fighting the cause itself. Adaptation is adapting yourself to the uh, uh, impact what it can bring, ठीक है। So that is your adaptation। So होता क्या है कि you are not focusing more on adaptation part, ठीक है। So you will not have climate resilient infrastructure, you will not have disaster preparedness आपका कम होगा। So this is the issue, ठीक है। अगर आप साइलोज में करो, इंटीग्रेटेड के अंदर यू विल हैव अ क्लब ऑफ इट एंड यू विल हैव मोर जेंडर रिस्पॉन्सिव पॉलिसीज एज वेल, दैट इज बिकॉज the first impact of climate comes on to women more in general, that has been observed, because they are they you have to that is why you have to involve them in ensuring planning and accessibility to green technology, green cooking, green energy. Okay, then is your indigenous knowledge. You have to incorporate tribal knowledge, because see, tribals are the one who are the closest to nature, who live with nature, within the nature itself. ठीक है, so that is why we have to learn ground conservation techniques. Like in, अगर आपको याद है, in our childhood also, at our houses also, we used to conserve, we used to collect rainwater, and we used to preserve them. And there were a lot of ancient practices of ground rainwater conservation. But nowadays, if you see in metro cities, or in, for that matter, small towns also, there are no water conservation which is going on. We don't do rainwater harvesting as such. So those kind of techniques should more be incorporated, ठीक है, in order to preserve your environment. And अगर आपके पास कोई क्वेश्चन भी आता है, तो you can make these diagrams, ठीक है, don't draw these things, but if you are making this in your answer, this will fetch you half mark extra. So that is why you need to have an integrated approach, ठीक है. Another thing is that you need to decentralize climate governance, and you need to localize as per the needs and as per the resources of the area. ठीक है, because इंडिया में ही अगर हम देखते हैं, there is diversity of landscape, there diversity of people, so you need to have that thing, that you need to prioritize. Now, what is how you can do it? You can do it through Panchayati Raj institution. Climate action must be planned and implemented at the grassroots level through empowering local bodies. ठीक है, ग्राम पंचायत डेवलपमेंट प्लान्स के अंदर you should have climate resilience in their funds. एंड MG एनर्जी मनरेगा, जिसको अब जी राम जी स्कीम भी कर दिया है, ठीक है, इट कैन बी यूज्ड फॉर इंटीग्रेटेड प्लानिंग वहाँ पे. Then one health approach. Climate change link human, animal, and environmental health require coordination across health, environment, animal husbandry, and local bodies. ठीक है, this is one thing. Outcome क्या होगा? Lower emissions, greater resilience, social equity, and sustainable growth. Integration is better and a smarter way of planning and a faster way of seeing impact. This is the crux. That is why you need to have integrated thing. Now, इसी का अगर हम एक एग्जांपल देखते हैं, because FC environment के अंदर ना, everything that you see is very integrated. So you can use one example in other question, one editorial as an example, one as an explanation. E20 fuel transition की हम बात करते हैं, ये क्या है? ये भी तो lack of integrated approach है. ठीक है, जहाँ हम इथेनॉल को पुश कर रहे हैं, वहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है आपका? वाटर स्ट्रेस, ठीक है, बिकॉज़ इट इज़ कंज्यूमिंग अ लॉट ऑफ वाटर, एट द सेम टाइम कॉजिंग अ लॉट ऑफ pressure on the pockets of people, right? Just a sec. Okay. So अब इथेनॉल का क्या इशू है, ठीक है? इथेनॉल ने इंडिया इज़ aggressively pushing E20, at the same time now India is moving towards E25. Like हम लोग को पता भी नहीं चला, and we were just consuming E20 fuel. It came in petrol pump without like इतना कोई visible information के साथ, ठीक है? What is the problem अगर ये चीज़ें हो रही हैं, that there was lack of preparedness among citizens. Citizens were not ready, they were not aware, they were not prepared. ठीक है, now India is actually moving towards E25. So let's see कि what is the technical issue? E20 का इतना criticism हो क्यों रहा है? The reason being there is a mileage issue, ठीक है, and that is a legit issue, because ethanol की अगर हम बात करते हैं, they have 30% less energy density than petrol, ठीक है. So if you are blending 20% of ethanol into petrol, the overall energy content per liter of E20 will be less than petrol, ठीक है. As a result, it cannot have you financial advantage, that it will not be cheaper, it will be expensive if not like on the same par, ठीक है. Now impact क्या है? There is a less energy per drop, the engine must consume more fuel to generate the same amount of power, and will experience a drop in fuel efficiency, Estimate a mileage drop of 6 to 7% for 4 vehicles or slightly less for 2 vehicles. So you have a 6 to 7% drop because there is a less energy density in ethanol as compared to uh, petrol. Second thing is ethanol is hygroscopic. That means ethanol के जो molecule हैं they attract water more and they absorb moisture from the air, whereas petrol is not hygroscopic. So अगर आपके vehicle में petrol डाल के it is kept idle for a long period of time, the water ethanol mixture can separate itself from petrol, leading to poor engine performance, and they do have a corrosive property as well. So it can, because of the moisture itself in the fuel system, it can corrode the metal around the fuel tanks, and it can degrade rubber and plastic components in older vehicle which were not designed themselves for high ethanol blends. ठीक है, so market में जितने भी vehicles हैं they are designed for E5 to E10 but they were not designed for E20. Anything before BS4, I think, yes, BS 5 and 6, anything beyond before than that is not designed for E20. They are designed for E5 and E10. ठीक है, and that is why a lot of people are facing mileage issues and poor engine performance because the vehicle is not constructed for the blends of E20, and we are moving towards even further blends. Even the Nitin Gadkari also mentioned that they'll be moving towards E100, but that's a far-fetched thing. It can't move towards E100 so fast. ठीक है. So older vehicles, especially the B4 and earlier models, they were designed for E5 and E10 as I have discussed, and remaining for E20 premature. They have seen premature engine wear and ruptures. ठीक है. Material compliant. Now the automobile industries are producing E20 material compliant vehicles, and they have upgraded rubber and plastic components, corrosion resistant metal parts to handle solvent properties of ethanol, though they still suffer mileage drop unless the engine is specifically designed for E20. So even if आपके B5 or B6 के हैं, ठीक है, so although they will not have corrosive properties and they will not have like engine damage because they are tuned to E20, लेकिन they will see a mileage drop. ठीक है, अगर सिर्फ E20 के लिए it is not specifically tuned. So this is the problem, and this is the reason why everybody is criticizing E20, because it is impacting and it is causing further burden on the pockets of people, because you have seen that the same amount of petrol that you used to use, say for 100 rupees, it used to like travel, say for example, some 5-10 kilometers. Now it can only travel 6-7 kilometers rather than 5-10 kilometers. Okay, this is the problem. Now, what is the solution? The solution is your flex fuel vehicles. Okay, because they have engines that are designed to run on more than one fuel. Flex fuel, मतलब flexi fuel, flexible fuel pe they can move. So you need to have that. And they have advanced engine control module sensors that can detect fuel blend ratio in real time and adjust the spark timing and fuel injection. So they are the future, and they are the one that have better adaptability to E20 and fuels more like that. But the still question is, can we move towards E100? Is that and is that in picture? So the Brazilian model को अगर हम study करते हैं तो Brazil is a global leader in this space where nearly all cars sold are FFV capable of running on any blend from E27 up to E100. That means वो pure ethanol पे भी चल सकते हैं. So we have to follow this model. So if you have a question in your mains, you can give an example that we have to follow the Brazilian मॉडल. ओके, ठीक है. फ्लेक्स फ्यूल के अंदर दे हैव एडवांस इंजन कंट्रोल, सेंसर डिटेक्ट फ्यूल ब्लेंड्स इन रियल टाइम, एडजस्ट स्पार्क टाइमिंग एंड फ्यूल इंजेक्शन, ऑप्टिमाइज परफॉर्मिंग एंड रिड्यूस माइलेज इशू. ठीक है, दिस इज द थिंग, and we have to see the future. So E20 is a necessary transition for self-reliant and greener India, but awareness, vehicle readiness, and the move towards FFE are key of making this journey smooth and sustainable. ठीक है, so this is another point. नाउ कल की अगर हम बात करें, yesterday, if you talk about the next topic, you had your Earth Overshoot Day yesterday, ठीक है, which is your 30th July. Now, why, I think day before yesterday, 30th July, because w- why Earth Overshoot Day? What is Earth Overshoot Day? So, आपके अर्थ की एक कैपेसिटी है, ठीक है, टू सस्टेन यू. नाउ if you are consuming those resources by which day, ठीक है, लाइक सपोज आपकी कैपेसिटी अर्थ की एक्स अमाउंट वो ईयर में आपको फंड कर सकता है, प्रोवाइड कर सकता है टू ग्रो, टू मूव सस्टेनेबली विदाउट डैमेजिंग. But we have utilized those resources by 30th June. Now, इसके आगे के लिए for the remaining of year we will be borrowing from the earth itself. They don't have capacity to sustain you. We have overreached the capacity of the earth to sustain ourselves. So that is what Earth Overshoot Day means. So we have come to a point that on 30th July, Earth Overshoot Day came, and now every day we are borrowing from the future. ठीक है, so we don't have, it's simply like a credit. Now we are taking credit from the future and we don't know how to pay it back. ठीक है. So last year क्या था? This overshoot day was 4 day before this. That meant it was on 26th of July. So don't think we have seen an improvement. ऐसा नहीं है कि last year 24th जुलाई को था, इस साल 30th जुलाई को है. So we have done something great. No, we haven't. We have just changed our parameter of uh, uh, our calculations of earth overshoot day. ठीक है, that is why. अगर हम previous calculations के हिसाब से जाते, then it would have been on 22nd of June rather than on 30th of 22nd of July rather than 30th of July. Okay, so this is what your Earth Overshoot Day is. And it is hosted by Global Footprint Network, an international sustainability research organization. The concept was given by Andrew Simons of UK think tank New Economics Foundation, and they partner with Global Footprint Network in 2006 to launch the first Global Earth Overshoot Day campaign. इसको कैलकुलेट कैसे करते हैं? Earth Overshoot Day simply means वर्ल्ड बायोकैपेसिटी कितनी है डिवाइडेड बाय वर्ल्ड इकोलॉजिकल फुटप्रिंट इनटू 365 डेज. ठीक है, सो आपकी कैपेसिटी डिवाइडेड बाय आपका इकोलॉजिकल फुटप्रिंट. ठीक है, और उसको आप 365 डेज में कैलकुलेट कर लो. सो दैट इज व्हाट. एंड बायोकैपेसिटी द अमाउंट ऑफ इकोलॉजिकल रिसोर्सेज अर्थ कैन जनरेट फॉर दैट ईयर. ठीक है, एंड वर्ल्ड इकोलॉजिकल फुटप्रिंट ह्यूमैनिटी डिमांड फॉर दैट ईयर. दैट्स इट, सिंपली. Now, then you have the Move the Date campaign this year, 2026 के अंदर for this particular shift that we have seen. So currently human is consuming 73% faster. That means we are consuming 1.73 Earths rather than one in a year. So we will need this much amount of Earth more. Okay. So this is. And what is Move the Date campaign? Move the Date campaign is by Global Footprint Network, ठीक है, highlighting the future is still needed. And how do you do that? By these 5 pillars. Planet को, how do you save planet? You reforestation and conservation. Cities should have smarter infrastructure and active mobility. Energy transition to renewables energy, for example, reducing the carbon emission from fossil fuels by 50%. Would move back date by an entire 3 months. Then food, reducing food wastage and lowering meat consumption. ठीक है. Fifth, population, empowering women and ensuring access to family planning. ठीक है, so that have you control the population and you lower your meat consumptions and reduce the food wastage. So at home house also it should be beginning, right? Then on 28th of July, you had World Nature Conservation Day. Now, what is World Nature Conservation Day? It is an urgent reminder that a healthy environment is foundation of a stable, thriving human society. It is dedicated to raise awareness about preservation of our natural resources, including water, air, soil, mineral, trees, and wildlife, promoting sustainable practice to combat environmental degradation. ठीक है, अगर हम हिस्ट्री और ओरिजिन की बात करते हैं इसकी, तो हिस्ट्री क्या थी? इंटरनेशनल यूनियन ऑफ कंजर्वेशन IUCN ऑफ नेचर ने 1997 में पहली इसकी ऑब्जर्वेंस को डिक्लेयर किया था, ठीक है। प्राइमरी पर्पस एस्टैब्लिशिंग दिस डे वाज टू एम्फसाइज द क्रिटिकल नीड टू प्रिजर्व द अर्थ बायोडाइवर्सिटी and to inspire a global movement towards sustainable living. Over the decade, it has grown into a worldwide platform for government, NGOs, and citizens to evaluate how humanity interact with nature. ठीक है। किन 3 पिलर के ऊपर 2026 का फोकस है? रेस्टोरेशन, 3 Rs are restoration, resilience, and responsibility. That means you have to restore the damaged ecosystem. You have to bring resilience in your uh, natural defenses, and you have to be responsible. Let's read. So, focus on actively repairing damaged ecosystems such as planting trees, cleaning up water bodies, and rehabilitating degraded soils. Resilience emphasize building natural defenses against climate change impact, recognizing that healthy ecosystems are better equipped to withstand an extreme weather environmental stress. Responsibility call for individuals, corporations, and government to adopt ethical and sustainable habits such as reducing plastic use and shifting to renewable energy. ठीक है। So although see it is very easy to say कि हम ये चीज़ें कर लेंगे, but it's very difficult when it come to practice. Say for example आपका निकोबार वाला project है, ठीक है। Now Nicobar project is strategically a very important project for India. So you have national security threat, ठीक है, if you will not uh, prepare your infrastructure. Why do you need so? Because of the presence of China, dominating presence of China. In order to secure our future, we need to have that. And there are millions of trees that will be cut in Nicobar. But what does that mean? That if we will grow the same amount of trees somewhere else, will that suffice? First of all, no, because those trees are present some from hundred thousands of years. Okay. Now, if you plant the same amount of trees, it is not going to compensate for the impact that it will have on the Nicobar Islands. Okay. It will not compensate. At the same time, those trees will take another hundreds of years to grow, and that too if they are managed properly. But can you actually एक फॉरेस्ट को उजाड़ के कहीं और लगा सकते हैं? नो, दैट्स नॉट पॉसिबल, एज वी डिस्कस्ड ऑल्सो, कि अगर अमेजोन रेन फॉरेस्ट पूरा खत्म हो जाएगा, इट विल कन्वर्ट इनटू ड्राई सवाना। यू कैन नॉट से हम वहाँ के प्लांट्स कहीं और लगा देंगे। इट वॉन्ट वर्क लाइक दैट। इट डजंट वर्क लाइक दैट। इट विल नेवर वर्क लाइक दैट। So you always have a fix of sustainability and you all security versus climate change, and that stress is more in developing nations because they have to prioritize their development, and at the same time will have to move sustainability and not so on the developed nation, and that is why India and EU that we discussed. Okay, so this is the entire vicious cycle है जिससे निकल पाना it's very difficult currently. ठीक है, but somehow we have to navigate our path. But having said that, the impact that the environment have is multifold and it is beyond comprehensive abilities. ठीक है, so that is also an issue. Now, how it is observed around the world, days marked by community-led and state-sponsored activities. You have cleanup drives, ट्री प्लांटिंग अवेयरनेस कैंपेन। नाउ अवेयरनेस कैंपेन के अंदर एक कैंपेन है लाइफस्टाइल फॉर एनवायरनमेंट। ठीक है। नाउ दिस लाइफस्टाइल फॉर एनवायरनमेंट मिशन लाइफ वाज एनविजन्ड बाय इंडिया इन 2022। ठीक है। India led global mass movement to nudge individual and community towards adopting climate friendly behavior. It focused on demand side of climate change, human behavior, and daily consumption habit. So while we are saying there are a lot of policy making that needs to be done in order to improve, reduce the carbon footprint, I think as individuals, you need to be very responsible while consuming environment. We as individuals are not responsible. How much food get wasted in our houses? How much water get wasted in our houses? How much plastic do we consume? Can we prevent even 1% of it? If yes, then we have to take the initiative. It is about sustainable livelihood as well. If एंड इट्स ऑलवेज नॉट अबाउट कि आपने तो सारा ही कर देना है। जितना आप कर पा रहे हो उतना करना चाहिए। सपोज इफ आई कैन कंट्रीब्यूट 1%, आई शुड कंट्रीब्यूट 1%। इफ अदर पर्सन कैन कंट्रीब्यूट 2%, दे शुड कंट्रीब्यूट 2%। इट इज अबाउट हाउ मच कैन यू कंट्रीब्यूट, बिकॉज थोड़ा थोड़ा तो हर कोई कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकता है, राइट? एंड दैट दीज आर द लिटिल लिटिल लाइफस्टाइल चेंजेस दैट वी नीड टू इनकॉर्पोरेट। ठीक है? Nobody is saying कि totally you go carbon footprint free and the other is going to give all the carbons. No, you do whatever you can, the other will do whatever they can, and eventually the earth will be a better place to live. All right. So origin क्या हुआ था? Introduced by PM Narendra Modi at COP26 in Glasgow 2021, and it was launched by PM and UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres in Gujarat in India October 2022 के अंदर, ठीक है? फिलॉसफी क्या है? रिप्लेस माइंडलेस एंड डिस्ट्रक्टिव कंजम्पशन विद माइंडफुल एंड डेलिबरेट यूटिलाइजेशन, द थिंग दैट वी टॉक अबाउट, built as a global network pro planet people, ठीक है? So the people should take little bit of effort to be in position to safeguard environment. That's it. Global recognition integrated into G20 New Delhi Leaders Declaration 2023 as a key strategy for sustainable development. So it got 3 साल है, 2021 के अंदर कंसेप्चुलाइज, 2022 के अंदर इट वाज रिलीज्ड एंड 2023 के अंदर टू 2023 के अंदर it was integrated into G20 New Delhi Leaders Declaration of 2023. Now, there are three phases in mission life: changes in demand, nudging people across the world to practice simple yet effective environment friendly action, as we discussed. ठीक है? Changes in supply, industry कैसे कर सकती है? Shift towards sustainable choices, industries and markets will pivot to offer eco-friendly product and services. Say, for example, there are a lot of skincare nowadays. Like if you see Mamaearth, they say that their packaging, I don't know like how much truth is it, is environment friendly first. Second, what they say is that for every product that it's being sold, they plant a tree. So this is industry initiative to have some sustainable environment, ठीक है, sustainable livelihood. Similarly, there are other companies also that they have changed their packaging from truly plastic based to compostable packaging. So this is also a little step that we can make at our end to improve. Okay, then changes in policy government. By influencing both demand and supply, the movement shapes long-term government policies to support sustainable production and consumption. So it is happening on the three ends: demand, supply, and policy. Okay. Then what are the actionable schemes? There are 7 actionable schemes जो अपने घर में कर सकते हैं. Switch off lights whenever not in use. Save electricity. ठीक है. Use public transport whenever you can. And वाटर सेव कर सकते हो. हार्वेस्ट रेन वाटर, एज वी डिस्कस दैट पहले रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग होती थी, आजकल कोई नहीं करता है. ठीक है. फिक्स लीकेजेस, यूज वाटर एफिशिएंट फिक्सचर्स, अडॉप्ट ड्रिप इरिगेशन इन एग्रीकल्चर. देन सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक को आप रिड्यूस करो. कैरी क्लॉथ बैग्स फॉर योर शॉपिंग रादर देन गेटिंग इट इन plastics. Use reusable water bottles. Avoid plastic cutlery, straws, and packaging. Sustainable food system adopted. Reduce food waste, compost organic waste. Choose locally sourced seasonal diets rather than imported and exotic diets. जो आपके एरिया की हैं, देखो, हर एरिया का एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोड्यूस इज एक्चुअली क्यूरेटेड टू द नीड्स एंड नेचर इज वेरी स्मार्ट एंड इंटेलिजेंट. ठीक है. सो जो भी आपको अपने एरिया के अंदर लोकली प्रोड्यूस्ड या फिर सीजनल फूड्स मिलते हैं, दे आर ऑलवेज बेटर टू कंज्यूम. Nowadays, if you go to a metro city, winters वाले जो fruits हैं या foods हैं, they will be available throughout the year. Like if you go to Delhi, spinach, which was earlier used to be a thing of winters, is now available across the year, throughout the year. Now that cannot be possible because it's a seasonal. So how it is coming? Either somebody is growing it or it is coming from cold storage, or it's being imported from somewhere else. So what is happening? It is taking a toll on the environment, or if it is transported, it is costing you heavily. So you should consume what is आपकी बॉडी के लिए भी अच्छा है, if you are staying in that environment that you consume, which is the seasonal foods. This is what it is. Reduced waste reduction, ठीक है. Segregate dry and wet waste, repair instead of replacing, upcycle old materials. Healthy lifestyle adopted. Choose walking or cycling for short commutes. Plant trees, consume natural organic products. E-waste handle properly. Repair electronic devices. Return all electronics to designated recycling centers. Do not mix e-waste with regular household bins. Okay, so these are the steps that they can be taken under mission life. Okay, now this question can be asked in your prelims. So be very well thorough with it. And for that matter, for your writing essays and mains answer, if you have to write some points with respect to how do you live sustainability, you can use these points. They'll be very helpful. ठीक है. Now the last topic for today is protest over Ken-Betwa river link project. ठीक है, जुलाई 2026 के अंदर, जहाँ पे एक तरफ दिल्ली के अंदर प्रोटेस्ट हो रहा था with respect to NEET paper leak and resignation of the education minister Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan. ठीक है, by the students in at Jantar Mantar, there was another protest going on Ken-Betwa river interlink project. ठीक है. हमने आरएलसी के बारे में भी पढ़ा था। कैन बेतवा क्या है? कैन बेतवा में आप रिवर को इंटरलिंक कर रहे हो, आप एक रिवर का पानी दूसरी जगह पे लेके जा रहे हो इन अ वाटर डेफिसिट रीजन, ठीक है? दिस इज़ अ ह्यूमन इंटरवेंशन टू अ नेचुरल रिसोर्स, ठीक है? एंड दिस विल हैव इट ओन रिपरकशन टुडे और टुमारो फॉर श्योर, ठीक है? बट एडवांटेजेस क्या है कि एज़ ऑफ नाउ शॉर्ट टर्म आपको क्या मिल जाएगा, वाटर डेफिसिट एरिया के अंदर यू विल हैव वाटर। सो यू हैव टू हैव फर्स्ट इंटीग्रेटेड अप्रोच होना चाहिए जो हमने डिस्कस किया। सेकंड, आपके पास एग्जांपल्स हैं दैट व्हेन यू ऑल्टर इट विल हैव रिपरकशन ऑफ एज वी हैव सीन इन द आरएलसी, ठीक है? थर्ड, there was there's a price that the local community will pay, and that is why there was a protest going on, ठीक है? It is the first major river interlinking initiative. The project transfers excess water from Ken River in Madhya Pradesh to Betwa in Uttar Pradesh to alleviate water scarcity in drought-prone Bundelkhand region, ठीक है? Now, what options do you have? So this is one of the options that government came up with. Now, नेचर ऑफ प्रोटेस्ट कैसा था? देयर वाज़ अ काइंड ऑफ चिता आंदोलन, जहाँ पे इन अप्रैल एंड जुलाई प्रोटेस्टर्स फ्रॉम गोंद एंड कोल ट्राइबल कम्युनिटीज दे स्टेज सिंबॉलिक फ्यूनरल्स। सो कौन सी ट्राइबल कम्युनिटीज आर गेटिंग इम्पैक्टेड? गोंद एंड कोल ट्राइबल कम्युनिटीज ऑफ मध्य प्रदेश, ठीक है? टू डेमोन्स्ट्रेट दैट प्रोजेक्ट वुड मीन डेथ ऑफ देयर लाइवलीहुड एंड देयर लैंड, ठीक है? बिकॉज देयर इज सम कंस्ट्रक्शन एक्टिविटी दैट हैज टू गो and it is impacting their livelihood. Then Fasi Satyagraha, news protest. In July, women protest stood on bank of Barana River near Kupi village with hanging nooses around the neck to uh, symbolize the devastating impact of forced displacement. ठीक है? Then Chula Bandi Andolan, unlit kitchen. Following a police crackdown that cleared permanent protest camp in July 19, residents initiated the protest where they refused to light their stoves and cook until their demands were met. So these were the kind of protest happen. लेकिन हुआ क्यों? एक्चुअली में रीजन क्या है? हम डिस्प्लेसमेंट और रिहेबिलिटेशन का इशू है, ठीक है? ये किसी भी प्रोजेक्ट को अगर आप करोगे तो दीज आर द इशू दैट विल इवेंचुअली कम, ठीक है? एंड दैट इज समथिंग दैट हैज टू बी टेकन केयर ऑफ विद utmost amount of clarity and conviction, ठीक है? So local people are saying that many families have been left out of rehabilitation plan altogether. Fun thing. Second, they are demanding that compensation package should be double from 12.5 lakhs to 25 lakhs per family. The protests have also conflated grievances from Ken-Betwa project with those of the nearby Majgaon and June irrigation project, which have also led to land expropriation and displacement. The Chhatarpur collector claimed that many of the July protesters were actually impacted by these small projects, not KPLB directly, though they were using KPLB site for visibility. ठीक है? So basically displacement और rehabilitation का है. Now अगर हम पन्ना टाइगर रिजर्व्स और environmental impact की बात करते हैं तो what are the impact? तो the project क्या कर रहा है? It construction of Dudha Dam, which will submerge a significant portion of Panna National Park and Tiger Reserve. Okay, it is going to have impact on that as well. Now, the reserve is a UNESCO recognized biosphere and is celebrated for its successful tiger introduction program launched in 2009 after tigers were locally expatriated. Okay. Now, critics are argue that a natural flow of Ken will destroy critical habitats, jeopardize the tiger population and threaten endangered species of gharial. So this is the impact that it will have on biodiversity. ठीक है, आपके फोन जो आपके वहाँ पे बायो स्पीशीज हैं उनके ऊपर भी ये इम्पैक्ट आएगा, ठीक है? So what government has done? The government has said this recently passed a resolution to increase the rehabilitation package for Majgaon and Runj projects, raising it from 5 lakhs to 12.5 lakhs, added 750 families को और ऐड किया fresh surveys के through. पुलिस का हमने डिस्कस ही कर लिया, and there is kind of political involvement that we don't have to go into. So whenever you are reading such projects, तो सबसे बड़ा इशू क्या आएगा, that एक तो natural आप नेचर को डिसरप्ट करोगे, नेचर विल कम बैक. सेकंड, rehabilitation and displacement will always be a challenge, because more so ऐसे areas में you will have tribal indigenous community whose livelihood are dependent, and they are poor people. So every time whenever such things come, the burnt is being faced by poor people. That is so ironical, because they are the people who are staying in these natural areas and tribal people. So that is what you have to take care. And this was it from today. And this is what it was from your Environment Weekly. I have tried to incorporate all topics of environment from the month of July, combining them, and every topic is still integrated with each other. So you do write a question. I have a practice question for you. Wait, I'll give you. This is a practice question for you. Do write it and send it to us. Climate change is not merely an environmental crisis, but a profound socio-economic challenge that require breaking down policy silos. In light of this statement, evaluate the necessity of an inclusive and integrated approach to climate action in India. How can grassroots institutes like Panchayati Raj be leveraged to achieve this? So this is what you have to write, and do send me your answers. And if you have any doubt, please type down your doubts in the comment section. ठीक है? Want this PPT? Get it from the Telegram group. ठीक है? And that's it from today. Have a nice day, guys. I hope it was helpful. And if you have any doubt, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.